Reading books will genuinely change your life. And I know that in this day and age, we have so many options. We can play video games, we can listen to podcasts, we can watch videos, we can watch movies, we can watch TV, let alone any of the other activities that we can actually go out and do. In balance and moderation, everything is good. But reading books is something that you will never regret doing too much of. It is something that makes you more wise. It opens your mind to more viewpoints. And I think that there's something, and I don't have the exact science to back this up, but I think there is something different from listening to hours and hours and hours of algorithm-fed podcasts and videos that a lot of people use as an excuse of saying, well, I listen to everything. I don't need to read because I listen. But there's something different from sitting down, intentionally tuning out the world, and getting into a good book. Now, a lot of people hear this as well, especially in the place where, you're seeking out videos like the ones that I'm making on this channel, where all you want to do is improve. You want self-help. You want to read a book that is nonfiction and teaches you how to win friends and influence people, or how to get rich, or some of these self-help books. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think those should be in your rotation of reading as well. But I want to talk about two authors today that changed my life and changed my way of viewing the world, and have given me so much wisdom by largely repeating truths that they had found in older literature and kind of adapting it for a modern crowd. In those two authors, I'll start with one, C.S. Lewis. C.S. Lewis's books, I've read as many as I can get my hands on. I started, obviously, with the Narnia series when I was very, very young, and then I recently revisited it about 2 years ago. I read all 8 Narnia books. I'm pretty sure there's 8 Narnia books back to back, and I am fascinated at how easy those books are to read. And I would recommend that anybody younger than me, or anybody even older than me, reads those books immediately. They are an amazing window into the world of Christianity. And if you're confused or you're not a Christian and you just heard me say that, I think it's important that you go into the Narnia books at least with an open mind that you could learn something about Christ and Christianity. C.S. Lewis himself wrote the books as what he called a supposal. In other words, he was saying, suppose Christ exists in another universe, for lack of a better term. This was before all the multiverse stuff, but he was basically saying, what if there was another existence, and Christ was also in that and redeemed it in the same way he redeemed our existence? And that is Aslan. And as you read these books, especially in the fourth book, The Horse and His Boy, you will hear Aslan speak in ways where it will change you. And especially if you're younger, I think you will start to kind of think of Aslan as kind of a guiding figure in your life, which then molds as you get older into Jesus as a guiding figure in your life. And they're incredible books. So go read those. Another book that he wrote, well, it's actually 3 books, is the Space Trilogy, starting with Out of the Silent Planet and ending with That Hideous Strength. And if you are a bit of a stronger reader, and you're okay with, especially in the 3rd book, reading kind of just about conversations and about professors talking about how they're going to start controlling the world and things, which seems pretty prophetic to me about what's going on now with this elite class that is kind of making a lot of the decisions for us on our behalf, whether we like it or not. And then just how to defend against that. That book is incredible, and I think it's more applicable today than ever. So read That Hideous Strength. Another author, and that's just his fiction. He also has a bunch of nonfiction that you should check out, but at risk of making this video too long, I'll stick with just his fiction. So the Narnia books and the Out of the Silent Planet trilogy are incredible, and I could make entire videos on just those. But the second author, and again, this is focusing on fiction, is J.R.R. Tolkien. And to me, and I could be in the minority again, the Silmarillion is one of the best reads I've ever had, because you read it the same way you read the Bible. It starts with a creation story, and then it kind of goes into an Exodus story. And if you've read the Bible, read it knowing that it's going to be a similar type of read to that, at least the storybooks of the Bible, and you'll see where he pulled the stories from, and it'll kind of give you a deeper appreciation for the things that are unsaid in the Bible. That when it comes to angels and hierarchies in the spiritual world and the great mystery. And it does this without revealing so much that you feel like he's making stuff up, because it leaves a lot of mystery, but it kind of it has more ability to go more in depth into the mysteries, and that's because it's not there as a Holy Spirit driven book to show us who God is. It's kind of there as a mirror, a subcreation to the way that God is created, into showing us how intricate a being like God must be if he does exist, and he does in fact exist. So those two authors, I think, are incredible, and obviously The Lord of the Rings is incredible. Those movies too are so good. But you should read more books. You should read more books. And if I were you and you're anything like me, I would start with C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien.